Greetings, fellow nail techs. Hello, hello. I'm just showing you the side of my Disney cup that has words on it today, because the mornings aren't pretty. I'm going to get turned around while everybody gets joined in. There we are. Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Today's Disney cup is another loan from the Garland family. This is this is me this morning with the mornings aren't pretty. So this is me this morning. I should have been working. Instead, I was relaxing. So I'll just work later. That's the benefit of being self-employed, right? And I still have to do my own nails. That's on the docket for today too. So welcome everybody who's joining in. If you're new to Periscope on the app, even on replay, you can touch the screen and that gives me hearts, and more hearts puts me higher up in the viewer list. So people have an easier time of finding me. So that's super cool. And you can also, if you pull down on your screen, you can share this broadcast with your followers on Periscope. And then that way we can just keep kind of building things up. Anyway, today is Thursday, which is Nail Tech Hump Day. Because Wednesday isn't Hump Day for us. Thursday is, because we work all the time, but traditionally salon hours are Tuesday through Saturday. So Thursday's our hump day. Okay. So, a few different things. This is kind of a good day for me to catch up on some stuff that I've sort of put off on the back burner. I want to say thank you to everybody first who takes the time to message me and tell me how good that Nails Over Coffee is for them and how much they're looking forward to the University of Nails. This is definitely a labor of love, and it lets me know that I'm doing the right thing when you guys give me the feedback that that this is something you want, something that's non-product manufacturer sponsored, that's about, for a nail techs, by a nail tech. That really helps me out and really keeps me going when I'm tired and such and working like a slave for you. I had an interesting question the other day. Somebody, Dana posted on the Nails Over Coffee page asking me how much time I spend online, trying to get ready for these shows. And I answered, I said, well, my hub love would probably answer 24 hours a day, but realistically, it's 5 to 6 hours a day I spend online to make sure that I can keep up on bringing you the content for this. And the hour before I go live is usually pretty intense with me catching up on everything. So I appreciate everybody who stops in to view it, because that makes it all worth it. And that way you guys don't have to spend 5 to 6 hours online like I do. Okay, so without any further ado, one thing that I wanted to talk about is there was a conversation we had on Nail Professionals Technical, which please, if you are a member of groups, be mindful of what group you're posting in when you're asking a question. I've been rapped on the knuckles more than a few times for breaking a group's rules because I didn't realize what group I was in. So Nail Professionals Technical is a group that is no brand names. So make sure that whatever question you're posting in a group is appropriate to that group for the answer. Like if you post a air quality question in Nail Professionals Technical, you can't get any brand names of any air purifiers. And if you post something asking what brand is best in a product manufacturers group, nobody can answer you other than the manufacturer of that group. So please be mindful of what group you're in. But in Nail Professionals Technical, we were discussing, there was a post and there was a discussion about oily nail beds, oily nail plates. And people are like, you can't have oily nail plates. And some other people are like, well, yeah, you can. And so then somebody brought up a good point that they said, it stands to reason that if oil will penetrate the nail plate, if it's a small enough molecule oil, like we know with certain oils like solar oil and Dadi oil and their component oils, so sweet almond oil, jojoba oil, rice bran oil, vitamin E oil, we know that those are small enough molecule and some of the essential oils that they'll penetrate through the nail plate to the nail bed. And so we always talk about, clients who lift, clients with the oily nail beds. And we were kind of like, well, it stands to reason that if you could get oils through the nail plate from the outside, then wouldn't oils be able to come up from the inside? And so we were talking about what Doug's take on that was, and I pulled out my handy dandy nail structure and product chemistry book. If you are a nail tech, you absolutely must have a copy of this book to reference, even if you don't read it from cover to cover. And Doug has some new stuff coming out, so definitely pay attention to that, because it's when we know all of the science that we can make decisions as artists for what we're going to do. So what Doug says on this topic is, let's see, where's the, okay. Remember that water and oil are constantly flowing upward and evaporating from the surface. This steady flow of moisture into the plate helps maintain the proper balance. So, yes, things like cholesterol and our body's other natural lubricants are in fact flowing up through the nail plate. So that means that yes, somebody's body chemistry must be able to make a difference. You can't, only limit it. And let's see, squalene is another one, cholesterol. There's less oil in the nail plate than there is water, about 5% oil versus 18% moisture, and the two work together. So here we go. Sounds like respiration to me. Yeah, I mean, except for it, the water penetrates the nail cell wall. I'm also taking this from page 36 through 38 on Doug Schoon's book. Water can penetrate through the cell wall. The oils can't. So the oils pass through the nail plate. They hang out in between the nail cells, but they can't actually penetrate the cell wall to go into the keratin cells on the nail plate. So that's the difference. Now, when we take off artificial nails and we see that somebody's nail is real weak and bendy, it's because of a high moisture content that the artificial nail covering has been blocking that release. So that's why after you soak off an artificial nail, you're left with a bendy nail. But if you wait like a day, if you can get it through a day, it'll rebalance itself. Enough moisture will evaporate out. You can put some oils back in, and before you know it, you have a nail that is the right balance again. So that was one of those things I want to talk about. So when we talk about people who have oily nail plates, who are lifters, those are people that we can't do anything to make that permanent change. All we can do is continually at their service dehydrate and disinfect temporarily their nail plate. That means they're going to kick up the oils and they're going to come back. It's like if you scrub your face with harsh soap, you get even oilier. Well, it's the same kind of thing. So they're just going to have to come in for artificial nail services or whatever services more often than everybody else. They're just going to have to. That's their oily nail plates. Sorry. That's the way it is. And so we can explain it to them that way. That way they know what's going on. Just like somebody who has oily skin has to wash their face in the morning and at night to get optimal results, where somebody with dry skin only has to wash at night and just splash with water in the morning. It's no different. So we need to explain it to our guests that way. Well, yeah, and so there's a comment that says, unfortunate they don't understand. So that's where our job is to relate that little bit of science to them, saying this is the same thing as what you do for other oily skin, oily hair, those kind of things. You have oily nail plates. And now don't be using as an excuse, though, for poor work. If you're not doing your job and they're having lifting because they're too thick around the cuticle or you're not properly preparing or something like that, own up to your ish. Okay. But if you truly don't have lifting on 98% of your clients, and you have that 1 or 2 or 3 that no matter what, and you can tell when they come in, they've got oily faces. They look younger. I'm a lifter. You know why? I got super oily skin. It's not hard to tell. So definitely, definitely know your science when it comes to that. The other thing that I want to talk about today is somebody mentioned on the Canadian Nail Tech Connection about carpal tunnel. And I've talked to a couple people about carpal tunnel, and I did a show on this way back at the very beginning, but I don't have time to go back right now on my YouTube channel and find it. So I'm just going to say it real quick on here. If you are having problems with your hands, make sure, I've had carpal tunnel surgery on both hands. If you're having problems with your hands, make sure that in between clients, you're stretching your hands, you know, you're rolling your wrists. If you work with a lap towel like I do, when I get up from my table for something, I roll my lap towel between my hands. It gets my wrists a going. You know, those kind of things. And if I got these little wrist braces, they're neoprene and they have a plastic stay in them from Walmart for like $8 a piece or something. Sleep with these on. The problem with carpal tunnel is this area in your hand, the tunnels that your nerves flow through get all congested. And so you start losing nerve traffic going through here. And we sit like this all day. And then if you sleep like this at night, you never get a chance for it to open back up and get some healing in through there. So if you sleep with these guys on, I know they're not super attractive, but this put off surgery for me for another year. And if I had been wearing these from when I very first started having pain, I would have gone even years more. I've been a nail tech for 19 years. I had surgery done 4 years ago or so. And I was at 15 years. I started wearing these at 14 years. Dude, I could have gone much longer without surgery, I think, if I'd have been wearing these the whole time. So, these are the ones, something like this, you need something, these are washable. You need something that has a stay in it that bends so that it holds your wrists open. And that will give your wrists a chance to heal while you're sleeping, and you won't cause any more damage. And it allows you to, and even if you're in the middle of the day, if you've got a couple hour break and it's you've got some time to rest and you're just sitting there reading a book, toss those on. Give your hands a chance to recuperate. So I wanted to go over that real quick. So another thing we had going on here in Upper Midwest Nail Techs, there was a question of how many of you charge pardon me, for gel polish removal when applying new gel polish at a client's regular service. Is it already included? Do you add it on? Do you, and so there was a few comments. I figure we only have a few options, which is to charge, well, I guess that's not true. So the way I do mine is if I put their gel polish on, and they are coming in and I am reapplying gel polish on them, I do not charge them for removal. If they are getting their gel polish removed and they're getting just a regular manicure, I charge them. So there's no price benefit to having your gel polish taken off and regular polish put on. It actually ends up costing the same amount on my menu because my manicures are $25 and my gel polish removal is $10 and my essential shellac manicures are $35. So you end up with the same price because since I'm not putting the gel polish back on, I can't guarantee I'm going to see them again in another 2 or 3 weeks. So I charge them for the removal. Now I have some regular clients who maybe they aren't going to get a full manicure done. They want to just get their gel polish removed because they're going to go a couple of months just doing their own nails. So for them, I just remove their gel polish. I charge $10 and I send them out the door. I don't file. I don't do anything. Just $10 and out the door. And sometimes as a customer service for regulars, I'll do it for free just because I know they're going to get gel polish on when they come back, and I'll get that time back on the back end when they come in. I would have included it for free then. So sometimes for customer service for really good customers, that gives me the latitude to do that. And then I always, always, always charge $10 for removal if it's not my gel polish I put on. And I can't guarantee what brand it is. Now, if it comes from somebody who I know what brand they use. So like I have some friends in the area. I have a friend who I know uses shellac. If it's somebody coming from her, I know for a fact they have shellac on. And so if that's the case, then generally I'll waive that removal fee for them. So the question, and that seems to be pretty much a lot of what was said in here in the conversation. What do you guys do? Do you guys have any set policy, which you should, on your price list on how you handle that? Because I mean, I just think that the really important part is to be fair and to be consistent, both with our time, because if it's a product we don't normally use, we don't know how long it's going to take to remove. I mean, we all know the OPI gel color takes a way longer time to come off than shellac does. So, any thoughts, opinions, words? By the way, that's almost everything I have for you today. So if you guys have anything you want to talk about, now's the time to gear it on up and send it on over, because I'm opening the floor to everybody, not just the gel polish thing, but if you have anything else, because I don't, it's hump day. I've been busy at my computer doing University of Nails stuff all day. So in regards to hands, okay, we're waiting. Nobody likes dead air on Periscope, so luckily I like to continue to yammer. Doesn't bother anybody that I keep talking. Anyone else have thumb pain? I had a lot of thumb pain before I had my carpal tunnel. I had a lot of thumb pain. I had a lot of pain right here. And it radiated up through my thumb. I don't know if anybody else has had that in regards to their, is that the spot? I can see from your hearts. Is that the spot where you have the pain that's right here and then it radiates up through your thumb? That's probably due to this being pinched off in here would be my guess. I definitely, when you go get carpal tunnel surgery, it's more than that joint. Okay, so it's all the way up through the thumb. Could be radiating pain. There is a whole specialty of, could be arthritis too. There's a whole specialty, it's called electrodiagnostics, and it's what they make you go through before they'll definitively diagnose you with carpal tunnel. And what they do is they, right, sounds scary, doesn't it? What they do is they take this little teeny tiny probe thing and it's no different than like acupuncture in my opinion. They go through certain areas and they like zap it, and then they see the reflex. So like they're triggering off your nerves at different spots and seeing the reflex in your hands. And if they're not getting the reflex in your hands, then they know that the nerve is blocked going there. And they check your neck too. They start all the way at your neck to see if it's a pinched nerve in your neck from looking down at a nail table all day or at a pedicure foot, to see if the problem starts in your neck or if it's a nerve problem. And if it's not those things, then they'll more than likely send you to a rheumatologist to have your joints checked. And now rheumatology and arthritis and stuff used to be your pain doesn't radiate. Yeah, I would make an appointment with, whoever you need to for joint pain. If you have to go to your regular doctor and get a referral, or if you can just make an appointment with a rheumatologist. There's blood tests now that they can do that will tell you if you have RA, or if you have psoriatic arthritis, or if it's just the regular old osteoarthritis, those kind of things. And so if it's gout, I know that sounds like a scary thing to say, but gout is nothing more than a buildup of uric acid in a joint, and that can be cleared through. So you definitely want to go see a specialist for that, because if it's really specific, if it's a specific joint, then there's probably a lot more likely that it's a chronic problem, not something that's acute, meaning it just comes and then goes away and never comes back. If it comes and goes and comes and goes, or it stays around all the time and it's chronic, then yeah, you probably should go see a doctor for that. Love this topic. Yeah, unfortunately, I know way, way more about this crap than anybody who does nails for a living should know. I know lots of stuff about lots of little things, and so it just kind of all clusters together in this brain of mine. Okay. So, anybody else have anything that they would like to chat about? I know it's quite, yes, it is related to clients and grip, and people are learning over and over that you have to find what's comfortable for you. For some people, the overhand grip is more comfortable. So that you're reaching over somebody's nails to pull their skin down like that. For some people, the overhand grip is more comfortable. For some people, underhand is more comfortable. But yes, you're holding somebody's nails like that, especially when you're filing and trying to pull the skin back, or polishing and trying to pull the skin back. So, how in the world do we get them to chill? Well, let me tell you what, if you solve that problem, then I got another one for you called world peace, because trying to get them to chill out is another episode entirely. Some of that does have to do with, atmosphere in the salon though. You know, trying to keep your salon sort of chill, and definitely trying to keep your topic sort of chill. Like, I know that I have clients that as soon as we start talking about their ex, or we start talking about their boss, or as soon as we start talking about certain topics, their hands just go from this to this, and I have to kind of, you know, grab a hold of their wrist, put my hand on top of their hand and go, hi. Can you relax? Yeah, let's change the subject, because clearly that's not a good one, you know? So and we should always, my Nana, who I lost this year, my Nana always said that religion and politics has no place in polite conversation. And so, you know, those are, even if you agree with your client's views on those things, talking about them creates more energy, anxiety. And so you get people who they're so passionate about what they feel on that topic that they start squirming around in their seat. They start tensing their fingers, and you got to grip on them a little harder and all that. So try to keep the conversation, you know, kind of light. Yeah, religion and politics are no-nos, totally. But you'd be amazed how many people think, because they share the same views, that it's okay to talk about. And even if you share the same views, it's not necessarily okay to talk about. Now, there's a difference between talking about it because it's their lifestyle and talking about it as a topic. And so, you know what? I'll talk about this for a second, and then I figure it'll probably be about time to sign off. But keeping it this way. If they're talking to you about how they go to Bible study on Wednesdays, and there's always people who look at their nails, and thank you. There's always people who look at their nails, and every time they go to Bible study, people want to know what nail art they have and those kind of things. That's not a religious conversation. In fact, it's a nail conversation. But, and if they talk about, you know, how, you know, their religion has really helped them get through something, and so they go to their church group every weekend, and it's just they really appreciate it. And so last weekend they did a bake sale and blah, 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 blah. That's not talking about religion. That's talking about their life. And the same thing with politics. If you happen to find somebody who is a client of yours who's a nail or a door hanger for a particular political group, they're talking about, yeah, oh my gosh, this last week I went through this whole neighborhood and we knocked on doors and we handed out flyers talking about the candidate, and it was so enlightening to see all these different people. And that's not talking about politics. That's talking about their life. So it's okay to talk about religion and politics within the scope of your client's life. If they ask what you've been doing and you say, oh, well, last weekend I went on a retreat with my church, and we went to here, and oh my gosh, the waterfalls were so pretty and all of that. That's not talking about religion and politics. But you shouldn't get anything that gets people going on the ideology. behind the religion and the politics, because that just gets people too fired up. And when we talk about service marketing, services are the one thing where the other customers have the ability to impact your customers' perceived service. And so you don't know, while your client is busy talking about how Donald Trump is amazing, if there isn't the biggest Bernie Sanders fan in the world in somebody else's chair who is now getting their service ruined because they're having to listen to somebody spew about something that they would spend their entire life opposing. So you just don't. So even if your client's a Trump fan and you're a Trump fan and whatever, you just, no go. And that's going to be really important to remember as this election stuff heats up. So on that note, I'm going to take off out of here and, trying to figure out what I'm going to do for you guys tomorrow. I'll see what goes on in the boards. And if nothing super exciting goes on in the boards, then I will do maybe a product demo or something. I don't know. Figure it out. All right. So like the Nails Over Coffee Facebook page, University of Nails Facebook page, and share with your friends, and send any questions you have to nailsovercoffee@michellecortis.com or in the comment section or messages below. All right. Bye, you guys. Happy Nail Tech Hump Day. See ya.